I don't even know how to start this. So hi guys, my name is Dralna. I've used this channel for years as a way to record me and my friends just goofing off and having fun with video games and just generally having a decent time, you know? But I realized that there's, especially now and for the past, year or so since COVID really hit, year and a half or so, there's been a massive influx of people going, man, I really want to get into streaming, I want to get into YouTube, I want to get into content creation. They want to do something and they want to, especially streaming. Streaming is a great way to interact with people, as well as to just have a lot of fun and learn something new. I've learned a lot doing it myself. This is going to be an extremely quick setup guide to getting started streaming on Twitch in particular. However, a lot of what I'm about to say applies to pretty much any streaming platform you can think of, whether it be YouTube, Facebook. I guess enjoy the video. I hope you learned something. So there's a couple different ways you can go about streaming. First, you can always stream directly from a console. That's something a lot of modern consoles allow you to do. And that's a perfectly fine way to get just started on streaming, but honestly, if you want to build this as a hobby, it's not a great way to do this. So I'm going to show you the other way that you can get started streaming if you have a computer. Now, I bet you're wondering how good does my computer have to be for streaming? Long story short, if you've picked up your computer in the past 5 years and it has a dedicated graphics card in it, you're good. Anything from an NVIDIA GTX 1050 and up is perfectly capable of streaming. I'm currently running a desktop computer with 8-year-old hardware in it. It's got a GTX 960. It's got an AMD FX 8320 processor. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's because that was a CPU generation that ended about 7-8 years ago. If you've got a decent computer that can handle any sort of gaming, you can probably handle streaming as well. Because we're on a PC, we don't have a dedicated app for streaming like you would on one of your home consoles. So we're going to need some other software to do it. I've picked out OBS Studio because this is what I use personally, and it's what I usually recommend people try and use. OBS Studio is an extremely flexible software. It's open source, which means people can develop their own programs and everything for it. And before you blow that off, oh, I'm never going to develop my own programs for it. I don't know how to code. Other people have already done it for you, and they release those programs for free. All those plugins and everything, all of it's free. Okay, the software is free. Everything's free.
It's free real estate.
The other reason is it's generally a pretty well-used software. So if you have any issues with the software, there's a decent chance somebody else has had a similar issue, and you can find someone who understands what the problem is and how to fix it. This is a quick start guide, effectively. If you want to start streaming right now, today, in the next hour and a half, this is how you're going to do it, okay? You're going to go on over to obsproject.com. Okay, that's where you want to go. Go over to download, choose your operating system, download the installer, install it, make sure you get the 64-bit version. Once that's finished downloading, go ahead and install it. I already have OBS installed. It's what I'm actually using to record this as well. OBS is not only streaming software, basically anything you want to do with video recording or streaming, OBS has got you. This is going to be similar to what you look at when you start OBS the first time. These panels down here are going to be in a different order, but this is pretty much exactly what you're going to see. It'll probably look a little bit overwhelming at first, but don't worry. OBS is a wonderful tool that's going to help you get set up for your first stream, and you can figure out all the other stuff later. Now, when you start up OBS for the first time, it should prompt you to ask if you want to use the auto configuration wizard. If it does, click it. If not, you're going to go up to the top here, hit Tools, Auto Configuration Wizard. Okay, so we're going to optimize for streaming. You're just going to hit this little bullet here. Recording is secondary. If you want to try some of the other options, you're more than welcome to, but they're going to set things up differently than what I would recommend and what OBS would recommend. As far as your base or canvas resolution, go ahead and keep this the same, just use current, and I would say you probably want to keep your FPS at 30 FPS, especially if you're on lower end hardware, but if you want to stream at 60 FPS and that's an option for you, you can go ahead and try 60 FPS. Just be aware that if you have trouble during streams, there's a decent chance that if you lower that from 60 FPS down to 30 FPS, you'll be in much better shape. So as far as your service, Twitch is the service that I know best. YouTube also has a live streaming service. Facebook has a streaming service. There's always Restream. You can stream to Twitter now, which is something relatively new if I recall correctly. I don't know much about it. So we're going to leave our service on Twitch. There's two different options for connecting to Twitch for streaming purposes. The first option that I'm going to recommend, and OBS recommends as well, is connecting your account. This will let you log into Twitch through a window in OBS that will pop up, and all you got to do is log in here and OBS will set everything up for you. It'll automatically log into your account every time you hop in to OBS, and you'll be ready to stream almost instantly. Now, if you really don't want to give out your information to OBS for whatever reason, you can go ahead and get a stream key. So for those of you who don't know what a stream key is, it's effectively a string of letters and numbers that acts as a way for Twitch to identify who is actually streaming. You know, what channel should I be putting this stream to? Because you're sending Twitch a bunch of information to its servers, but Twitch doesn't necessarily know what stream to send that to because it's got hundreds of thousands of streams going all the time. Go ahead over to twitch.tv. You're going to go to your creator dashboard, okay? You're going to hit the little icon where your profile picture is, click on that, and then you're going to go to settings. You're going to go to settings, click on stream on the left-hand side, and you'll see this right here. This is your primary stream key. Do not show your primary stream key to anybody, okay? If I hit this show button right now, theoretically, all of you could access my account. Go ahead and hit copy here to copy your primary stream key. Head back on over to OBS and paste this stream key into this box. Once you've either logged in or gotten your stream key, go ahead and hit next. And OBS is going to do a little bandwidth test. Twitch has servers all over the world. So what OBS is doing right now is figuring out which of those servers gives you the best connection to Twitch and lets you stream the best quality video. So this might take a couple minutes. So once that testing is complete, OBS is going to set you up with a particular server, usually one that's relatively close to you, that's going to give you a pretty good connection to the server. So you're going to go ahead and hit apply settings. Once you've done that, you'll be able to stream. Okay, this is what you can now hit this start streaming button and you will automatically connect to Twitch and start streaming. The problem is you're going to stream this. See this black box here? That's what you're streaming. This is called your preview. Okay, this is your stream preview. So whatever is in here is what's showing up on stream. And right now it's nothing. There's no audio, which is shown over here in the audio mixer. There's no video, which is shown up here, so there's nothing there. Alright, so unless you want to be streaming a black video for a little while, we should probably fix that. Now, OBS organizes all of its assets for streaming into things called scenes, okay? Scenes are down here in the bottom left for me. They may be in a different position for you. OBS starts you off with one blank scene initially. You can add more if you want, and we'll talk about that in a second, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a source to that scene. So this is some sort of video or audio source that's going to get put into the stream when we when we actually hit the stream button. The first thing you need to add is some sort of video. And this is going to depend on exactly how you're streaming things. If you already have a capture card and you understand how to hook it up and everything, you're going to go down to video capture devices here and you're going to add a device that way. So you'll hit create new and you'll be able to select the device that you're looking at here, and then you just hit OK. And in this case, this is my capture card that doesn't have any inputs into it right now. It's just there's nothing into it, so it's just going to say no signal. However, let's say that you don't have that and you're streaming a video game directly off of your PC. Well, you've got a couple options. The first option that I'm going to recommend is going to be a window capture or a game capture. I don't have any games open, so we're going to do a quick window capture just to see how this works. So when you hit window capture, it's going to capture a window from OBS. It is going to capture a window that is currently open on your computer. You can go ahead and change the window with this. Go ahead and leave capture method on automatic, and that pretty much leave everything the same. If you don't want your cursor to show up on the screen, then you want to go ahead and uncheck capture cursor, but that's about the only thing you want to be doing. So now we're going to go ahead and add another source here, and then this is going to be your microphone. So we'll name this one microphone, or miscrophone, or miscrophone, because I can't type today. So you're going to go ahead and add your microphone here. All right, so I'm currently actually using my Blue Yeti, but if I try and use my Blue Yeti twice, OBS is going to have a fit. So we're actually going to just say, here's my Razer Kiyo. This is my webcam, okay? So this webcam right here has its own built-in microphone. So now that you've input a audio device, it's shown up in the audio mixer, okay? So your audio mixer here is a means for you to keep track of how everything sounds on your system. Generally, your main audio, your microphone, or whatever else you want to be the loudest, which is usually going to be your voice, you want that in this yellow range of this slider right here, okay? And normally you could adjust this by adjusting the volume slider right here, but it's already at max and we're not quite there yet still. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to filters here, and this is your audio filters. There's plenty of different built-in filters, or if you need more, you can go get VST plugins. I'm not going to talk about those for this. In this case, we're just going to add some gain, and we're just going to watch this slider as we crank up the gain here and see how much we can put on it. All right, so right about here, my normal speaking voice is in the yellow range. That's what you want. You want it. You don't want it in the red. The red is going to blow people's eardrums out because they have headphones in. You don't want that, okay? That's bad. So now you've got game video, and you've got your audio from your microphone, but you're still not going to hear the game. So in that case, you're going to go over to your audio output capture, and you'll be able to pick any of the things that you're currently outputting to. So whatever your game audio is outputting to, that's what you want to put your audio output capture to. So in this case, if I had my game audio outputting to my speakers, it'd be to this speaker's Realtek high definition audio, whatever that is for you, okay? And if you don't know what that is, assuming that you're on Windows, if not, then you'll have to look in some other place. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with Macintosh or Linux systems. But if you're on Windows, you can go over to your toolbar and you can hit the little speaker icon and it'll tell you which playback device it is. Whatever one shows up first is your playback device currently. If you're used to gaming with your speakers instead of headphones, I highly recommend while you're streaming to wear headphones instead. I know that some of you don't like it, but the fact of the matter is, when you have speakers on and the microphone, when you have audio coming out through a speakers and a microphone, you're going to get a feedback loop. So in this case, you would hear the audio both from OBS, which you're directly outputting, and you would also hear it through the microphone. So like, let me show you an example. I'm just gonna play some like music or something really quick through my speakers. That's what you don't want, okay? You don't want that. It's bad. Please wear headphones, okay? If you're gonna have any sort of audio output on your end, wear headphones. So then the last thing we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna check our settings. So we've got a bunch of different settings here. We're gonna ignore most of these because most of them don't really matter. You're gonna go over to stream and make sure that either your stream key is in or you've connected your account and you're set up on Twitch, and check the server that you're on, okay? If you're all okay with those, move on over to output. When you head on over to output, you're gonna see this for the first time. It's gonna be on simple mode. You don't want that. Go on over to advanced mode, and it's gonna show you a bunch of stuff you don't really need to worry about. All you really need to worry about is rescale output to 1280 by 720. And the reason that I recommend 720p streaming when you start is because most people don't have a consistent enough internet connection to watch a 1080p stream continuously, or they're watching on mobile where it doesn't really matter if the stream is super high resolution. It doesn't matter what encoder you're using. It'll probably default you to NVIDIA NVENC H.264 new if you have it. If you don't have it, it's okay. It'll be on X264. All that matters is you want your rate control set to CBR, and you're gonna check that your bitrate is probably something around 3000, maybe 2500 or 3500. That's really all you need to look at in here. All right, if you're happy with those settings, you're set to stream. Oh, and the other thing I'm gonna recommend that you do, go on over to audio. You're gonna see a desktop audio and a mic and auxiliary audio option. You wanna disable all these, okay? And I'm gonna say don't leave these on because those settings will persist throughout all of your scenes. So once you're happy with all those, go ahead and hit apply, and then go ahead and back out. The last thing we can do is we can actually add your webcam if you have it. Go over here to your plus button, and you would hit video capture device, and you would name it webcam. You would name it webcam, and then you would select your webcam from the set of devices. The problem is I'm already using my webcam to record, so that doesn't really work in my case. But if that's what you wanted to do, you could just add your webcam that way and mess with the settings however you want there. So the last thing you might want for your first live stream would be a be right back screen. Okay, let's say you have to go up and get a glass of water, or you have to go up and get something else. When you make a new scene, it'll automatically swap you over to that scene. If you go back to your first scene, all your stuff will still be there. So then you're just gonna have to add another source, maybe just put some text that says like be right back or something. We'll do a really lazy setup for this, okay? Okay, let's say this is your whole be right back screen. All right, it's just gonna be this. It's just gonna be this text center in the middle of the screen that says BRB. Whenever you wanna swap to that during a live stream, all you have to do is click on the new scene. You can see over here, your audio mixer's gone, there's no audio playing to the stream, and it's just gonna be this video, okay? And then when you're ready to come back, click back on this, you're back on your microphone, you're back on your audio output, you're back in your game, everything's all good, okay? If you feel ready to start streaming right then and there, you can go ahead and hit the start streaming button and go. Don't get me wrong, the stream is gonna sound terrible. It's going to look probably not great, but this is a perfectly functional stream setup. There's not a whole lot else I would recommend for a first stream. I can get into a whole lot more of like technical stuff and like how you should probably set up your streams, philosophies, designing stream layouts, things like that. I'm not gonna get into that here. This is a quick setup video, okay? Now if you want those more in-depth guides, let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will be putting those out probably pretty soon. That's gonna be all I have to say for today. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.